about to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be, life with no distractions. We'll get away, this is what we waited for.
And he has a pretty cool place.
It's a dark day in Canadian history, to be really honest.
I'm done living life with the lights out, die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Let's go, let's be free with me. Be free.
A really fun few days. The weather's been absolutely fantastic.
It's been gorgeous.
We've been kind of traveling around the Kootenays. So after we left Sandon,
Yeah.
we went to New Denver, tiny little town,
It's a cool town.
and so cute, and right on the lake.
Slocan Lake. It's beautiful.
Holy
Beautiful.
cow, it's beautiful. And I mean, we come from the shoe shop. We know beautiful lakes.
This is right up there.
It is. But the cool thing was that after we left Sandon and we went to New Denver, we met up with some friends from the shoe shop. And boy, did they have an important story to tell.
They did.
Because his dad actually was born in Sandon when it was a Japanese internment camp.
He was the second child to be born there.
It's a dark day in Canadian history, to be really honest. I'm embarrassed that that took place. Yes, there's been some retribution. I'm embarrassed about that too.
Most of them lived in Vancouver on Hastings Street at the time. They were allowed to, I think, take 150 pounds of their own stuff and leave everything behind, and everything behind was behind it. They weren't getting it back.
And
Houses, cars.
These were business owners and property owners and families and people that were building lives. These were even people that were born
in Canada.
in Canada.
Yeah.
But because of the war, the Canadian government decided in all their wisdom that they were going to take and gather up all of the Japanese descendant people and put them in these camps so that they couldn't do harm or be traitors. So embarrassing. And I wish we could have gotten into that Sandon Museum to show you more, because I'm sure there was more in there about those times.
And we had no idea. They actually went to Sandon the day after we were there.
Yeah.
And we had no idea they were in the area. And I had zero idea of the involvement they had in that time era.
Their family's history. So anyways, it was wonderful to hear their perspective and learn more about Sandon, and we wanted to share that with you, even though it isn't something we're proud of as Canadians.
It was something that happened, and it is history.
And it's
part of our
important to
history.
recognize what his family's sacrifices were, even though they were tax-paying citizens of this country. So, putting that aside, we have now moved on. We have arrived in Nelson.
I have a friend from high school that lives in Nelson. We're going to see him tonight. And he has a pretty cool place. And we're going to go check it out.
I absolutely cannot. We knew he was building it, but we've not seen it. And it is amazing, and you guys are going to love it. So we can't wait to show it to you. So we're gathering up our offerings because he's making us dinner tonight in this awesome place that he built. So we can't wait to take you along.
And he was a great friend in high school.
He was in the wedding.
Yeah, he was in our wedding.
I know. We're dating ourselves now. But
That was a while ago.
we all went to high school together, and it's just wonderful to meet up with friends, and we're going to go check out the cool place that he built and show it to you. So let's go.
All right.
one man's dream.
Hey, we're a little late. Hi.
I gotta go.
That's okay.
How you doing?
Come aboard.
Come on.
All right.
Cheers. Is this not the coolest place you've ever seen? And the fact that it's like completely off grid, and he uses the gray to keep the plants alive. Like, it is amazing. And Jason fabricated this whole thing out of his brain, his way. He built everything. He applied for every permit. He did everything to bring this to reality. And here it is. And we're here enjoying. How cool is this place? Look at this view.
Hey,
Here's my shot.
it's me looking at you. So how light is it?
30 pounds.
That's 30-pound boat.
And this one's probably about 230.
Right. The wood is very nice.
It's so pretty, it's almost a shame to put it in the water. These propellers are, they're from like big, large-scale remote-controlled airplanes, like
Okay.
like 1/3 scale Spitfires that they build and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
That are,
That's actually moving.
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Huh.
We can make the boat sprinting. We can make the boat go 4 knots, but we can't sustain that for very long. But we can maintain 3 knots, 2.5, 3 knots for a long time. So we need a little bit more weight, so I'm sucking a little bit of air right there.
Right, but when it's fully loaded.
We get 2 guys back here, and we get another person back here steering, and we have some gear inside. The propellant props are just
down low enough.
2 inches below the water, and we can. But yeah,
So why do you have this boat?
this boat is for us to do the race to Alaska.
Which is a very cool race that you can't use motors in, right?
Yeah, no motors. 2 rules: no motors, and no outside support.
So that's why the pedals.
Yeah, you can pedal, you can row, you can walk on water, but you cannot use an internal combustion engine.
So COVID kind of screwed that up this year, but you guys are still in for next year then.
Yeah, 2021, we're ready.
Cool. So how many people will be on this when you do the race?
We think 6. We did have 5, but we think 6 makes for a more trading 2 guys off
Right.
pedaling
Yeah.
So
at
you
time.
get more
Right.
rest then.
So it makes for a more even schedule.
Right.
So
And how long do you expect that'll take?
the race,
Yeah.
somewhere between 4 and 7 days, depending on the weather and the amount of wind. So
4 and 7 days from Washington.
Port Townsend, well, from Inner Harbor, Victoria to Ketchican, Alaska.
Right.
So the proving, the first part of the race is a leg that goes from Port Townsend, Washington to Victoria. And then boats, if they're not able to complete that part of the leg, they can't continue on the rest of the race. And then there's a couple of day layover there, and then the race proper starts right in Inner Harbor, Victoria, right in front of the Empress. And,
Cool.
and it's go as hard as you can until you get to Ketchikan, Alaska.
It'll be so
700,
exciting.
750 miles later, yeah.
750 miles later, 6 guys pedaling or sailing from Victoria then to Ketchikan, Alaska.
Yeah, and this year was the year that they used to have 2 stops, 2 mandatory checkpoints. One was Seymour Narrows, so just north of Campbell River, and then Bella Bella. For 2020, they dropped Seymour Narrows as a checkpoint. That opened up the possibility of going on the outside of Vancouver Island, which has never happened before. So the race got canceled. So boats that are considering going on the outside need to meet certain Coast Guard minimum safety standards.
Right.
So we're keeping that open as an option.
So you guys meet those.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we've purchased a life raft for the boat, and the boat meets all the other requirements that we need safety-wise for going on the outside. So that's taking the boat out on the open Pacific. So we did that earlier this year. We did in June because the race was canceled. We took the boat on a 360-degree circumnavigation of Vancouver Island, and so we took it out on the open Pacific.
So we'll link to that race so people can check that out, and then we'll stand by for next year. Get rid of COVID. Get this out on the water. That'll be so cool.
Yeah, go hard.
That's the motto.
So if you look up right above you, you'll see some petroglyphs.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
What's the history of these? Like, who put them there?
The Sinixt First Nation.
Yeah.
I'm told they're hundreds of years old, but I don't know if anybody really knows how.
Right. One last coffee at the float home in Nelson before we head out back on the road again. We just had to come back and say goodbye to Jason, and we just can't get enough of this float home. It's so super cool. We'll leave his Instagram. I believe it's at Floatin' the Coots in the description, so you guys can check him out there. As well, we'll link to another video that talks way more about all the systems, and if you're into float homes, you've got to watch this and learn from him because it is so cool. Now we gotta go.
Eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde. A classic cliche, we're on the run. This is what we waited for.